Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had a chance to subscribe to my channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like or share. As we were brought up as children, we were always taught not to lie. Even the little white lies, it was always important to tell the truth. And then as we got older, we learned about the importance of facts. Do you remember as you got older, though, it was easier for those little lies to come out? When your parents would say, "Where were you?" You'd say, "I was with my friends," or "I had stayed late at school." All of these little white lies would come out when you knew you were doing something wrong. Then, as you got older, and perhaps, you had homework due, you used an excuse like the dog ate my homework, or you might say you fell asleep, things that just didn't really add up. The more that people practice these small white lies, the bigger the lies become. When you're in a relationship and your partner asks, "Where have you been? You're late," or "Why didn't you call?" And if you've been doing something you shouldn't be doing, the lies are easy to come off the tongue. The reality is the importance of telling the truth and facts are monumental. Not just in relationships and for being a good person, but in reality. When you have to do a school project or you do a presentation at work, if you were to get up and do a presentation based on unfactual information, full of lies, what does that do to your credibility? What does that say who you are as a person? I remember once being given a project in university, being able to be creative and make up the whole thing. It could all be make-believe, and then people had to realize, tell you, are you telling the truth or are you lying? And some people were so good, we thought they were truthful. But in fact, it was full of lies or unfacts. The importance of telling facts are important for us as a community, as a world, to keep things in perspective. When you think about it, if we went to the doctor and we weren't feeling well, and they just made things up and said, "You have this, you have that, you should do this, you should do that," and we believed them because we have faith in them, and it was all lies, where would we be? We'd be one unhealthy community, I can guarantee that. We put trust in people to always tell facts and the truth. Teachers, politicians, doctors, lawyers. But the reality is everybody bends the truth to suit the situation. And that's unfortunate because then it becomes a systemic and community and social issue. We have to actually teach ourselves to read between the lines to see who's telling the truth and who's not. That's a lot of exhausting work. I think about the time that I was in high school and we went to watch a courtroom case for our law class, and I sat in the back, and this was a whole new situation to me. Never been in the court system. I didn't know how it all worked. And I heard the lawyers going back and forth and back and forth. And there was even some testimony. And the looks on the people's faces, I could see back then, were so serious, so sincere, that you honestly thought they were telling the truth. They were passionate about what they were saying. And it turned out it was all lies. You start to doubt the credibility of people when really, truly, there should be people in our lives that we have absolute faith in. You look at the media and you look at the stats and things like that going on in times of crisis, like the pandemic or injustice, and you hope that they're telling us the truth. But the reality is, unfortunately, some media outlets have bias. Some lean left, some lean right, and some just say what they feel. I teach a radio broadcast training program for individuals with disabilities, and I go through the importance of telling the facts and not adding bias to it, because as reporters, as journalists, as media individuals, we are supposed to be providing information that's truthful and not affected by our personal beliefs. Now, this is not an easy task because all of us have beliefs in something. So if I look at an object, an apple, let's say, and say it's red because I feel it's red, and because it's red, I would hope that everybody would believe me. But if somebody looks at it and says, no, Melanie, in fact, it's green, then I've told a lie without meaning to. We have to be prepared, we have to be educated, and we have to have all of our facts from a credible source. And this gets challenging because which source is credible? One would think these organizations like the WHO and things like that would provide excellent, credible resources to us so that we would be educated on the stats for COVID-19. But then there's always going to be those people that bring up conspiracy theories and tell you what their beliefs are and what they think and what their truths are. So where does it stop that we have the right idea of where to learn? And the easy answer is we have to educate ourselves. We have to look at multiple sources. We have to look at everybody's point of view and opinions and then form our own educated decision of what the facts are. Stats come from credible sources all over. When I was doing research today, I looked at different resources for Canada, for the US, and worldwide on the importance of facts. And it's interesting because all the numbers will vary. I would hope that I'm educated enough to make a decision to only state what I know to be true. So when I'm talking to a large group of students or to a large audience, I would only want to talk about stuff I know firsthand, how I feel, or how I've experienced things. I'm not going to go spew facts off about something I'm not educated about. So when I'm teaching my broadcast training program, I talk about the importance of researching and getting those accurate facts from reliable sources. When you look at politicians nowadays and the lies and the mistruths that they're speaking in order to get elected, and then even after they're elected, to kind of get their party or their followers or supporters to go after what they're saying, it's scary, the amount of people that are believing the lies. Facts are facts. There's no right or wrong in the truth. It's only the truth. So how do you decipher what's fact and what's fiction in our world? As I mentioned, the research, credible sources, and talking with one another. Everybody's going to have a different version of the same story. We know there's the he said, she said, and somewhere in between is going to be the truth. We have to learn to read between those lines. Not only as professionals and as individuals, but family members, as parents, as siblings, as spouses. We have to be able to trust the people in our lives. And that goes even to the people on TV when we're watching our news. Is this coming from a good place? Is this factual? I always like to say to my class, the weather is a perfect example. As good as we can guess at what the weather's going to be like the next day and report on it, nobody knows but Mother Nature. So there's some things that you would hope that we have to have a little bit of wiggle room, but most information that we provide to one another, especially if you're in a place of power, needs to be truthful. Because can you imagine what chaos the world would be if we all just spoke mistruths, lies? It's a scary thought, isn't it? And what are you going to do about that? Because each of us has a part to play. We need to continue to educate ourselves on the facts, speak the truth, and set an example for people to follow. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share. I'll catch you next time. Bye.